Hello, hello. Welcome to the People's Rose. I'm Jared,
And I'm Brooke.
and we are a husband and wife couple that love reality TV so much. We decided to do what no one else has done recently, make a podcast about it. We talk about all things reality TV for the most part, but specifically the shows we like to watch. And what were the two shows we watched this week?
Bachelorette episode 3 and Claim to Fame.
We did, and we also watched some other. We caught up on some other shows we'll talk about.
Oh
But
yeah.
I know, right? We're just reality
There's
TV
so
binge
many,
watchers.
man. It's a lot.
I know, but we do this for for our own enjoyment. I was about to say for you guys. We would do this if nobody was listening.
We do this for y'all.
'Cause
It's
no one
only
is.
for y'all. The three
Yeah.
listeners.
Anyways, no, we're happy that you're listening. If you're listening to us talk about reality TV, thank you. Although we do apologize for once again starting off with, I guess, just the weekly Braydon segment with Charity and the Bachelorette. I don't get it.
Wait, the what segment?
Our weekly
Braydon?
Braydon segment.
Braydon segment.
Yeah. With Charity, I just don't get it. I guess again we're starting off with the Bachelorette like we've done the last couple episodes. And just I I don't even know where to begin when it comes to Braydon. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's I feel bad because she's getting bamboozled by him.
Right.
Like I guess it's just the way that he talks to her. He just like okay, so towards the end, he once at the cocktail party, he's like talking about, oh well, I don't really know if I'm going to be ready for an engagement. And he never really said those direct words to Charity like he said to the guys on the date. But he was open about not being sure if he could really do the whole process,
Right. So let's for just as a refresher, you're probably listening to this after Wednesday. Braydon, who's been just a character on the show. He's the guy that wears earrings and comments on his earrings, wears a velvet shirt and comments on his velvet shirt. Cause was just the center of attention again this week. The guys didn't like that. He had some doubts about the process, and it's like, dude, what show are you on? Did you even know the show you signed up for?
Like it seems like he genuinely is just here to have a good time, to get exposure.
Right.
I mean, like that, and now that he's made a connection, I think he's a little bit like, oh, I like her, but he doesn't want to be married right now, probably, and he probably is also like, oh, it kind of feels good that I'm winning, right?
Yeah, that's what. Okay, again, and I guess I can't be too upset with Braydon. This is why I think The Bachelorette is the better show to The Bachelor.
Yeah, it makes for great TV.
The guys just once they get into competitive mode, I'm sure very few of them have actually examined, do I like Charity? Is that a girl I want to pursue? And she's totally deserving. Great girl. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you put 20 guys in a room and say, man, I wonder which one of you's going to end up with this girl. And that's all they needed. That's all that's needed. And I think just like you said, that's what Braydon's operating on right now.
Right.
He's in yes, he's giving you the man, I don't know if I could do this. A girl's dating all these other guys and I just can't stand it. But then once it comes time to say sweet nothings to Charity and tell her what she needs to say, she wants to hear, he's doing just that.
Yeah. I mean, Charity is all about words, right?
Mm-hmm.
She loves being
of affirmation.
Yeah, like she loves being spoken to, and so Braydon has this way of saying things like, "Oh, I'm not ready, but I'm gonna try my hardest for you," and And Charity's like, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Well, guess what, Charity? Most of these guys are trying their hardest for you. Like, come on.
Well, you say most of them are trying their hardest, but we can't say that Warwick
Well, okay,
really put his best
I
foot
mean, we're
forward.
still weeding out those people, but like
Right.
we're getting close to where it's about to be everybody trying their hardest for her.
Right.
But also, like, what did I say when he wrote down the words on the baseball? He didn't think of that. Okay, the producers put the baseball and the Sharpie out there for him and said, "Oh, it might be cute if you write her a little letter." Like, come on.
Right. No, you're definitely right. Okay. So Braydon, like, the episode starts, we get the guys, they're still talking about Braydon and his experience last week and just all the drama him and the guys who didn't like him caused. And then Charity comes in and reminds them, hey, sorry that there was drama last week, and she pulls like actually a prank I respect.
Yeah,
she
this is
came in
right
and
up
said,
your prank alley.
oh, you love a good prank. Can't do this anymore in LA. And it's one of those things like this is definitely too early in the show for them to be going to Paris or uh Malaysia or something like that. And
Wait,
so
but are we even doing that? Like, are we back
for
to
sure, I think
world
they are.
travel again? Because last time they were just on a boat.
Yeah, but they went to Paris. Yeah. So,
True.
anyways, what I look forward to is that the feigned excitement they have to put on, like when the guys were like, Charity said, "Okay, we're going to Oceanside, California," and the room erupted like they all just won tickets to the Super Bowl. Nothing against Oceanside, California. We got tons of listeners in Oceanside, California. We love you guys.
Shout out to Oceanside.
but it's just one of those things. Like, okay, let's all get in the rented van and drive.
Well, I mean, this show, it's getting to a point now, though, where it's like, this is things that we love about the show. Like,
No,
the
that's
gimmicks.
what I just said.
Yeah.
I like this part.
Like when they get there and they're all on the balcony and they're shouting, Charity!
Right.
I freaking love that crowd.
Exactly. So they all drive, like you said, to get to the hotel, but she starts with that one-on-one with Braydon. And they rode on a helicopter to Oceanside or to San Diego. I guess I actually don't know where Petco Park is. They rode to the San Diego Padres Stadium, somewhere in between San Diego and Oceanside. Brooke, would you ride in a helicopter?
Heck no. You'll never catch me in a helicopter. I barely get in a plane.
Hold on, let me cancel.
You wouldn't get in a helicopter either.
Let me cancel some reservations. No
wait.
helicopter.
I forgot to say before okay, instead of you having to admit, I have to admit, I thought their matching outfits were so cute.
Right. Braydon.
Okay. I don't know where we heard this, but someone, well, okay, first I was like, oh, those outfits are so cute that they're matching.
What were their matching outfit? What colors were they?
Well, it was like a purple, like she had
Pink.
on, it's like a purpley pink.
It was a pink.
It was a purpley pink.
Okay.
She had on like a metallic jacket, white shirt, jeans, and white tennies, and he had on like a purple shirt with jeans and white tennies, and it just was like super cute. And then I remembered we had listened to another podcast where they said that sometimes the producers would tell them like, oh, Charity's wearing this, so maybe you want to match her.
Right.
So it wasn't just like a cute happenstance. And then I was like, okay, it's not as cute as I thought it was. But then, okay, yeah, so then they go on this date. Where do we want to pick up?
You go ahead.
Well, I basically already. At the Padres Stadium.
Right, so they're at the Padres Stadium, and that was, cool, whatever. They played around with the mascot for a little while. Neither of them looked to be too natural with a bat and ball, but
oh, I also love their Mr. and Mrs. Lawson shirts.
Right. Charity Lawson is our lead's name, and so they both got jerseys with their names or prospective names on it. Who knows? And they had their one-on-one date, and that's where Braydon did his whole spiel, like, "Oh, I just have my doubts. I like you so much, but I have my past, I was cheated on and blah blah blah, and just, oh, I'm vulnerable, and now that dude, you signed up to be on the show.
I
It's not a
know.
shock or a surprise.
I
So
know.
again, I'm not complaining too much, but it's just like, let's be realistic. You didn't teleport and then all of a sudden find yourself on the show.
Right.
You signed up to be on the show. So I
Right.
guess it is one of those things. Once you're really in the moment and it's really happening, you feel different about it.
Right.
But this is what, season 700 of this show.
Right.
It's like, okay, guys, watch an episode and see what these guys went through. So that's just the conundrum of Braydon. Inexplicably, after all the bad signs and all the red flags and the stuff he said straight to her face, Charity gives him a one-on-one rose. Say, I wasn't looking for the right answers. I was looking for his honest answers,
Yeah.
and that's what she's hopeful for.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how Braydon ended up with the one-on-one rose that they hinted about that she was going to take away later in the episode, because what happens later again, Aaron B. It was his turn this week to snitch. I respect the snitch.
Wait, didn't I thought he snitched last week too?
No, that was Adrian.
Oh gosh.
Right. So Adrian, he put his time in. So Aaron B stood up to the plate and really sabotaged himself. It's really never smart to snitch to the lead.
No, because guess who's gone?
Whatsoever.
Guess who left? Adrian.
It's just not smart, and obviously now the guys are upset because inevitably Charity was like, "Oh my gosh, I just need a moment. Send Jesse Palmer out there."
What did I say? I was like, "Oh my gosh, if I was a bachelorette, I would live for these moments where I was like, Jesse, I can't. You have to go tell them. You have to go tell them I need a minute."
Right. What was funny about that interaction is Jesse was crying for some reason.
Okay.
He maybe wasn't crying, but he had his
looked
eyes
like
were
he
red,
was crying, but I doubt he was really crying about it.
No, I think I saw online. I think on a thread. We're on
What?
threads. The People's Rose are on thread.
Oh, a
Follow some
thread.
Anyways, I saw one of Jesse's thread. He said he was upset, but he didn't really specify about what. He could have just had some salt in his eye and was playing into it.
Wait. Jesse said he was upset?
Yeah.
What?
That's all he said, though.
Was he joking?
Who knows? He's just promoting the show. He's a producer on the show.
That's weird.
So anyways, yeah, so again, we do the same. It felt like deja vu, where once again, somebody's telling Charity, hey, this Braydon guy's not what you said, not what you seem. This is what he says behind your back. She says, well, I'm not going to take that. She goes, talks to him. He says, didn't I just told you this? Whisper sweet nothing. She says, thank you for your honesty. He maintains his rose. That's another week of Braydon's Corner, I guess, on the People's
No,
Rose.
I have one more thing to add because it's fresh on my mind. Okay, so he's wearing some ridiculous earrings again to the cocktail party.
Yeah.
And Charity is like, "Oh, I like your earrings," and he's like, "Thanks." Okay, what I need to know, like, maybe we need a poll. What percentage of women would be like, "Oh yeah, I like those," and what percentage of women would be like, I'm not into that.
Okay,
like
definitely.
I'm not into my man I'm not into men wearing earrings like that.
Okay, we'll post it on us on the Spotify
for our 22. Wait, on the Spotify?
On the Spotify we'll put up a poll. Answer your question to that if you would be down for your man to wear earrings like Braydon does.
Oh, I didn't know we could do polls on Spotify.
I told you.
Okay.
Anyways, do you think you people are going to say yes to that, or what?
I would think majority would say no, but I don't
it's
know.
It's a new day. It's 2023.
You're right. These little Gen Z?
Well, I think even more than Gen Z.
Gen X? Wait,
Gen Z.
what are we?
We're millennial. It is Gen Z. But I think even more than Gen Z. It just depends on if you're into that type of guy. And that transcends age, I think.
You think?
I think so.
Maybe.
Because Nate he wore earrings and everyone thought he was super cool.
Oh, but Nate's earrings were like trendy.
Well, do you see what I'm saying? It just depends on if you're into that, is my point.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay, so I'm hoping next week, it looks in the previews, he's out of there. He's one of those early villains where you're like, this is entertaining, but now let's get to the nitty gritty.
You think?
Yeah, he's got to be gone. And
I
like,
mean, they are giving him so much screen time now, like heavy on the screen time. I think you're right. Like
well, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
probably not going to be around much longer.
It's
I
just
don't know if
not.
it'll be next week though,
Yeah, it's just not
but
entertaining anymore.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
don't think
I
it's
know.
this is
Well,
his
I still
storyline
think
has
it's
been.
definitely entertaining,
Well,
but
all I'm saying is his storyline or his the stuff that happened with him is the exact same thing that happened the episode before. And I'm like, are we gonna do this every
yeah, you're
episode?
right.
That's
You're
all I'm
right.
saying.
You're right.
Okay. So there are, believe it or not, other guys on the show. And before we get to them, who are some of your standouts that you just 3 episodes in, you're like, this is a guy Charity is either into or think she should be into.
Joey.
Okay.
No, Doughton.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know a third. I mean, obviously Braydon.
You think she should be into Braydon?
No, she is into Braydon.
No, I'm
Who
saying
do I think she should be into?
yours.
Oh, John
Okay.
and Xavier.
Okay, so John, Xavier, those are your two.
No, Doughton. Who did I say first?
I don't know. I don't even know.
I said Doughton, John, and Xavier.
Yeah.
Those are the three.
Okay.
Oh, Joey. I'm sorry, I have to have 4 because Joey too.
Okay. I agree wholeheartedly with those picks. I think those are far and away the best guys left. There's some other good guys, and whatever. But I'm just saying, I think those are going to be the top 4 if I had to bet on it. But the rest of the guys, okay, actually no. Let's go to the other one-on-one because this will be quick.
Oh.
Warwick, what's wrong with him? Is he okay?
Oh, bless him. I mean, honestly, okay, no. I say that, but really, I think he just wasn't into her, right?
No, I don't think that's the case. He was voicing that he was into her.
When?
In a limo, he said we just weren't on the same page. I liked her, it just wasn't meant to be. But then he fell asleep.
Yeah, like that to me is like he's not into her.
No, I don't think so. I think he just doesn't know. I think he's not ready for this point. He just wasn't ready for the show. I think it's unfair to just say he wasn't into her because he said he was.
I don't even remember him saying that he was, but also like, how did he even get cast? I'm sorry. Even all the guys were like, we don't know anything about him. He doesn't really talk.
Right. He's
like,
very quiet.
were the producers just trolling him? Like, I don't understand.
No, I don't think the producers were trolling him because it wasn't even that fun to watch. It was just kind of like, yikes, it was quick. You know what I mean? If you,
it just feels. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
It just feels like one of those like American Idol picks.
Oh, don't do that to work. Okay.
Like a bad singer that they put on American Idol.
And you've never seen anyone get camera shy or shy in front of the public and go quiet and awkward. You've never seen that happen to anyone in your life. Justice for Warwick. You know what? I was ready to but I'm actually for Warwick. Warwick Reader, I'm on your side, man. Sometimes it's tough. You're on national TV. You're dating someone. You just weren't ready for it, you know?
Okay. If that's what you think, okay.
Warwick, reach out to me, man. I got some tips for you. I got some insights. And you'll be back. You'll be back out there soon. I'm sure it's no big issue. But that's the extent. I mean, there's really nothing else to say because he said maybe 5 words the whole day.
I know. I know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So
but
he had a one-on-one and got sent home.
Hold on. But if you think he was shy, why wouldn't he say, "I'm shy. I'm nervous in front of the camera"?
Because it takes a lot to say that.
I guess for some people, yeah, you're right. But I don't know.
I think so. Okay, so the rest of the guys were on our Barbie themed date.
I'm obsessed with this group date.
Barbie is coming out, I believe, this or next week?
Next weekend.
So we got our Barbie promo, and when it comes to what is it called? When product placement, This is pretty high caliber product
Oh, heck
placement.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And so they had a Barbie themed group date where all the guys dressed up as various versions of the Ken doll and wrote their own lyrics to the tune of "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" and sang to Charity. Now, Brooke will have to take this because this was too much cringe for me. I was barely in the room when this was being played. I think I did some chores, walked around, covered my ears. That was some truly horrendous singing. But from what I could tell through my slightly closed eyelids, it looked like they were having fun.
The singing was bad, except for Caleb, the wrestler. In case you were wondering, he definitely is just here for the fame. If I mean, if you were questioning at all, I think it's solidified because of his performance. He's just here for the attention, but it was good. Okay, the winner was inexplicably Sean, who I guess Charity really liked that he like took action and kissed her in front of everybody, even though he and he just had a really like
Yeah.
he put on a good show. You know, like the crowd was loving it.
Barely.
You know, he took his little vest off. They loved it. But he also was like, I look like Ken.
He does
Which
have
was kind of funny.
a strong jawline, and he styled his hair. I don't even know what you'd call that.
No, that's how he always wears his hair. Oh, you're saying the style of his hair.
Yeah, he does. He's Ken-esque.
But then he got
Strong
such a big head at the party afterwards. What did he say when he walked in?
He started singing the song. He sang something to the tune of "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" while all the guys were waiting for him.
The guys were so mad at him for doing it too.
It was, and they did have James, who got sent home. We won't have to remember him anymore, and a couple of other guys. I think Tanner was like, "Really, bro? You're gonna come in singing? Man, not cool, bro. Not cool."
Poor Tanner. He he wants more time. He wants to make it work with Charity.
He'll be fine.
But
they'll cast him in Paradise.
It's just not gonna work out for you, Tanner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll end up with someone else in the franchise, and he'll be fine. Yeah. So that was that date. We did get some strong showings from Doughton. We saw a little bit more of his personality at the date, and he
did good. He did good on his performance. He really did.
Right, and so we saw more of his personality. He was willing to step out there, even though he was, he's not a good singer. In fact, if I said when we were watching this, if I had been on this show, this is where I would have quit. This is where I would have just said, "Hey, sorry. If it's meant to be, you'll come find me after the show, but I'm not doing this."
That's also just a hard song to sing. Remember, I was singing it before, and I was like,
"Yeah, I do."
Well, I'm always off tune, so that doesn't matter. But it's a hard song to sing.
Hey, we can't all be Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
But Doughton continued his strong showing at the group date after. I don't even know, is that called a cocktail party? Whatever it was, after the date part of the group date. Charity actually invited Doughton into her hotel room.
Oh yeah.
And she kind of made a thing about it. She was like, "This is my hotel room."
Yeah.
And Doughton, okay. She said, "Doughton, this is my hotel room. I wanted you to have a special space."
Yeah.
I thought this is the alley-oop, She's passing it up in the air for him to slam dunk, smooth, "Hey, I like you. This is really going well." And then, they make out. That's like, I thought that was the implication. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm watching a different show. Because he kind of just went on to like slam poetry, words of affirmation mode.
Did he?
Doughton, yes.
I don't even remember.
Well, so he just, just kept saying, "You're the best, you're awesome," on it, blah, 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 which was great. And she clearly liked it. She said, "Oh, I'm getting emotional." But he just never, ever went in for the kiss to the point where she had to actually go in for the kiss.
Yeah, she went in for the kiss first. Right, I do remember that.
I think actually respectable to, I know it is respectable, but it's also like, you're dating. It's the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss those moments. You want them to be frictionless.
Yeah, true.
Right? You want it to feel
True.
that. So I don't know. It's stuff like that that makes me wonder if he'll be the final choice. But maybe she doesn't need a suave guy. Maybe she just is. It's all words of affirmation from her. You know what I mean?
It's hard to say with Charity. I don't know.
But John, who we said is one of the ones we like, he did really well in there. He let out that he used to be a worship leader for his church. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He just said
Yeah,
he was just on
yeah.
the worship team.
Yep.
So he seems like he's musical. He seems like he's likes to perform. And
He actually was. I was actually impressed with his dancing too.
yeah, I didn't see his dancing again. I was pacing the
I mean,
room.
it wasn't, the best, but it was better than what I expected.
Wow, dancing worship team, interesting. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
But John, yeah, he good conversations. But ultimately, the group date Rose ended up going to Doton. Was there much from Joey in that? I don't even remember much from him.
Yeah, well, not at the group date, but at the cocktail party, he had the letters from his family that he showed her that he keeps in his wallet, which was really cute.
Yeah. So yeah, aside from that, that was honestly maybe it. Are we forgetting any major things we're forgetting from the
I
episode?
just want to say justice for Xavier because he's not getting the screen time he deserves.
Yes, we can't let an episode go by without talking about Xavier. We saw him briefly knitting on the bus to Oceanside, so he wasn't lying about knitting.
Yeah, and then he gave it to her.
Right. I don't know if it was the most fashionable. No. Was it a scarf that he gave her?
Yeah, but
I'm not sure if it's the scarf that Braydon would wear, but
it's okay.
No, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
But I guess the fact that they showed us it's the producers tipping their hand that he's still a big part of the show.
I mean, I don't know though, because in my final four, he's not in my final four. Would you put him in your final four? No, I said Doton, Joey.
Yeah, you said Doton, Joey, Xavier, and John.
I did?
Yep.
Dang it. I can't even keep up with what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
We're recording this after having put down our
we've had a stressful week in the Johnsons, okay?
So, it's all mush.
It's been stressful. He's sick.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Okay, sorry.
So we're getting we're down to the final 10 guys. She gave roses to everyone. She didn't take Braydon's rose, but it looks like next week we're gonna get rid of the scragglers and really get into when the season kind of turns into okay, it's time to actually
once you get to top 8, it feels different. I feel like and we'll probably be top 8 next.
I think we'll go down. They'll probably go down to top 7 or 6 next episode.
Dang.
That's it for this episode of The Bachelorette. We're hoping Charity opens up her eyes and sees that there's better options than Braydon, but we didn't just watch The Bachelorette. We watched some other shows. We'll go to Claim to Fame here in a second, but one of our other favorite, a Johnson reality TV classic, has been back on the air, and we just completely missed it. It's what happens when you're new parents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Project Runway is back.
Project Runs is back.
I'm a grown man. I'm a father. I'm not ashamed to say I love Project Runway.
Every time we watch Project Runway, Jared's like, I think I want a sewing machine.
No,
I think I could sew.
I edit this podcast, so that doesn't even have to make it if I don't want it to.
Okay, but that's true. Yeah, I wanted to say you have to admit that's true.
We have to get you in an after. You have to admit segment.
You have to admit segment every episode. It's now become a thing.
No, I actually don't think that's true. But anyways, I don't say that every episode, but I do feel that way. I don't have the.
Oh, you don't say you need a.
No, I don't say that. I haven't even said that.
Okay, after every season we watch.
So I don't have the fashion sense at all to do this, but it does look fun. They're creative, and I do have the critical sense to judge bad fashion. So I don't know. We'll definitely come. How do you say it? Peek in on Project Runway here and now on the podcast. We're not going to give them full recaps, but we are binging to catch up. There are only 4 episodes in. I think we only got 1 episode to be caught up. This Friday is when it airs.
I just will say I'm so excited that it's an All-Stars.
It is an All-Star season.
I love an All-Star season. They've already done an unconventional challenge. I think that it's
Yeah.
gonna be a good
Unconventional
one.
materials sometimes in the show. So Project Runway is a show where designers design like fashion runway looks for those who don't know. And sometimes you have to make materials. They'll send you to a toy store, like for instance, let you shop for a bunch of toys and like, okay, make a fashionable outfit out of the toys that you just shopped for. So it's kind of serious, but it's also kind of a Bravo reality TV show. But no, they're real designers. The fashion people in the fashion industry judge the show, and it's super fun to watch. Brooke is actually bearing the lead. She's seen every episode, every episode of Project Runway like
that's not
17
true
times.
because I haven't seen probably like the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they weren't on Hulu, but I've definitely seen all of the others multiple times since.
Right. So it's our favorite. I mean, it's actually, I don't know. Is it our favorite design show? Because we actually watch multiple fashion design shows. We are just
I mean, I think it is because it's like an OG. The other ones, it came first. The other ones are like wannabes or remakes,
Yeah, there's Next in
like
Fashion.
Tim Gunn and Heidi, they were total sellouts for the Amazon Prime one.
But I like the Amazon Prime one.
The Amazon
I'm not gonna lie to
one
you.
is good, but it's too
it's ready to wear. They focus a lot on the commercialization of fashion.
Yeah, but it's also too I don't want to say, but it's like too prim and not prim and proper. Like, I don't know what the right word is.
Serious, I guess.
Maybe serious. Maybe entitled. Pretentious. That's the word.
Hey,
it feels too pretentious.
Here to help.
Like you have to be like you already have to have such a following and a name for yourself to be on that show. Whereas OG Project Runway, they were bringing people in who were like self-taught designers just beginning.
Well, no, they do that on Making the Cut too. It's just it's a lot more obvious.
So.
They have those, and they inevitably get cut literally the first couple.
I mean, it's not the same.
It's definitely not the same. But I would say Making the Cut, Next in Fashion, Project Runway, all shows we watch and love. Before we leave Project Runway, from the 3 episodes we've seen, who is your pick right now if you had to say to go all the way?
Oh, gosh. Well, Fabio always makes it to the end. Hopefully he'll win this time. I don't know. I'm a big Fabio fan.
I think I'm rooting for, his name is Bishmi.
Oh, yeah.
Either Bishmi or, because he's got a nice story. His sister just passed.
Yeah.
Sorry for his loss, but either Bishmi or, man, I really also like, I forget her name, but the lady, she's got kids. She's very emotional. She has a kid, a son. She's very emotional.
Oh, Angel?
I don't think that's her name.
Why did I think that's
I don't think
Anna?
Anna.
Anna.
I'm rooting for her. I don't think those two are going to make it, but right now I think I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I like Bishmi. I love Brittany Allen, but I don't really think she's gonna make it to the end.
Okay, well, we'll let you know. We'll see where our predictions go with each time we check in on Project Runway.
Wait, we forgot to talk about. Okay, this is going all the way back to Bachelorette. We forgot to talk about Simu Lee.
Okay. Who do we forget to talk about?
Simu Lee.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Just cut this out.
This is in there.
No. Cut it all out.
Simu Leo. Guess he's in the Barbie movie.
He made a cameo on the episode because he's a fan of Bachelor Nation, and I just want to give him a little shout out and say, "Hey, dude, come be on our podcast."
Yeah, actually, you know what? We are gonna cut.
Can you tag him in there? Can you tag him?
Sure. Okay, so our other big show that we're recapping, Claim to Fame. Claim to Fame, I think this was a really good episode in the sense that everyone was kind of spiraling. I think there were so many bad guesses being thrown out, some undercover good ones, some sloppy gameplay.
Yeah, it was like this episode, everyone was just kind of like nobody knew for sure who anybody was except for Shane, and she got immunity.
Right.
So then everybody was scrambling, like, "Oh crap, what are we gonna do?"
Right. I wish I had sound effects. I was thinking about having a soundboard, but again, JB's sick. We didn't really have time. Anyways, I would post like I would. This would be a time when you'd hear a little ding or something like that, right? Because we heard one of our favorite competitive reality TV phrases. It started off with Jane, who claims to be a mastermind, saying that she had a psychology degree. And so, of course, that just means she's going to be the complete mastermind of the game.
I mean, literally every reality TV show has had somebody come in and say, "Well, I have a degree in psychology, so I think I'm going to do good." How many times have we heard that on Big Brother?
Like a million times.
On Traders, on probably everything.
And you keep at it. Sometimes when it doesn't even make sense on Project Runway, like I have a psychology degree before I got my fashion degree, so I know how to mess with people's minds.
Like no.
And I'm like, what are they teaching in psychology?
Not that. I didn't learn that.
You know what? That makes me want to go get a psychology degree.
Okay.
If there's reality show manipulation 101, you're like, open up your textbooks.
Oh my gosh, we should teach the class.
This is it.
Let's teach the class.
Let's go sign up for it at HCC or Lone Star and say, hey, we're reality TV experts.
Yes.
We know we saw you're looking for help in your psychology department. We're willing to start a class.
Yes, that's great.
Jane spiraling from the get-go. She has a psychology degree, but she comes out the gate crying, thinking that her clue got pulled because Monet said something about puppies. And spoiler alert, well, I'm hoping you've watched the show. Jane ended up going home. Her celebrity was Dolly Parton. And I'm like, why did she think that a clue about Dolly Parton would have anything to do with puppies?
Well, because she said puppy love. That was my
No,
celebrity.
she didn't even hear puppy love. She just heard puppies.
I think she said puppy love.
No, she didn't.
That was my celebrity's first number one on the charts.
Just puppies. But yes, I get what you're saying.
What song did Dolly Parton sing that was puppies?
That's what I'm saying. I just said, why would she ever think that would ever be a clue for Dolly Parton?
Well, I mean, obviously she would know her aunt better than we do. What are you talking about?
I hear you. I'm just saying that just showed how paranoid she would be, because you could tell me right now, hey, this is a famous song. This is a famous singer who sang about puppies. I would never guess Dolly Parton.
Look, I just looked it up.
Okay.
Dolly Parton did sing a song called Puppy Love.
But this is not what that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm not saying that she didn't. I'm just saying, you right now write a clue to tell someone you're thinking about Dolly Parton. What would you put? Would you put puppies? Would you put Jolene? Would you put the 9 to 5? The countless other things that are more synonymous with Dolly Parton. That's all I'm saying.
Fine.
You wouldn't put an Elvis song and say, oh, the song is about. You wouldn't make an Elvis clue road. Like, oh, he sang about a road once. You're like, there's tons of more Elvis references. That's all I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. There's bigger clues for Dolly Parton than this puppy love that nobody would really knows about.
I know you inside and out, right? So if someone put a clue about your favorite candy or something, yes. But if I freaked out because it says, oh, I pulled a clue and it said fingernails, and I'm like, Brooke has fingernails. Oh my gosh. They'd be like, calm down, Jared.
Okay, I'm following now.
About Brooke.
I'm following now.
Thank you. So, anyways, Jane is spiraling, and she's thinking everything's about her when it's not. Monet and Shane, people claim that they were manipulating her. I don't think they were. I think they just stumbled into her paranoia.
Yeah.
Because I think they honestly gave her the clue in good faith. She just guessed wrong.
Well, they didn't give her the clue until the very end, before the ceremony.
Right, because she ended up being the picker. That's how she went home.
So I think there was a little bit of strategy involved there, in that they were like, let's not give her tons of time to stew on it and look at it, so that she has a higher chance of...
Maybe, but Chris definitely thought he was going home. He thought he had her dead to rights. But when she got up there and guessed that his celebrity was Elvis Presley, you could tell that he was like just praying, Lord, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was so happy.
Yeah, so that it was just a Jane Spile episode, but we got some good moments again from Monet. Actually, no, let's get back to Jane saying
What?
that she was a champion, like shooter or something.
Oh no!
With the
Okay.
with the challenge for the slingshot.
Well, first of all, they did a challenge and it was a team challenge, and they did the stupid thing where it's like you have to pick. What is that called? Where they're like, you pick a person for your team, I pick a person for my team. You
Picking
pick
a
one.
team.
Okay, well they just go back and forth and pick a team.
Yeah.
And Jane was the last one left, which that is my worst nightmare as a human being.
Have you ever been picked last for something?
Jared, no, I don't do sports like that.
Well, not even sports, just in general in life. You've never been picked last for something.
Probably, but I've blocked it from my memory because I don't want to relive that
for
experience.
For all of our listeners who have anxiety about being picked last, welcome to Jared's Corner. Jared's tips. Here's what you do. You just got picked last for anything in life. Here's some phrases to just make it a fun joke. Save the best for last.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And
okay.
But you haven't even been picked last yet. It's just me and Brooke, and they're trying to decide between the two of us. Oh, I said, don't be scared. You can pick me. It's okay.
Okay.
You don't have to hide it. Go ahead and pick me.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Or just I'm fashionably late to this team. There's tons of things you can do to get the pressure off of you.
You're right.
But when you do the sad walk of shame over
defeated.
People start having pity on you.
Oh,
and you know that people are backing away and letting you shoot the basketball without any defense and stuff like that.
Okay, but okay. Now you're pouring salt into old wounds.
I didn't say anything. Okay, so
wait, okay, so then Jane was picked last, right?
Right.
And she was like, I was picked last, but what these people don't know is I'm a champion shooter.
Or whatever she said.
Champion what? Slingshot? Well,
whatever it was. Cut away to her just not even being able to put the ammo in the slingshot.
Oh, bless her heart.
So they played this game. It's not really worth it to talk about the mechanisms of the game. Basically, Jane's team was lost, and so we've got some more clues. You want to speed run through these clues? Maybe see what we think they could be?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Gabriel has got a kid's hat with the little whirly wind, whatever it's called, on the top, with a star on his chest and drumsticks in his hands. All the house guests thinks that his celebrity is an athlete, so when they saw the star, they're like, "Oh, Dallas Cowboys."
That does not look like a Dallas Cowboys star.
I think it has something to do with child star musician. Child star musician. Drums. Maybe his relative is the drummer in the Jackson 5. I don't know if the Jackson 5 had a drummer. I can't think of any child drummers. But that's what I'm thinking right now.
Okay.
Then we've got Monet's clue. She's wearing what looks to be, I don't know, I'm not a hat person, but just like an old, like, what would you call that, Brooke? Just like
a fedora.
Yeah, a fedora looking hat. She's got a necklace around her.
With a lock on it.
Right, and then a cloud with a thunderbolt. And just to be clear, these are pictures of the contestants that have been with things drawn on to them to give clue about their celebrity relatives. So I have no idea what hers is.
Me either.
Just a hat, lock.
But what? Wait, what's the girl's name that Monet pulled the clue on, or Shane pulled the clue on? Carson. Carson is convinced it's Steve Harvey.
And I'm like, when have you seen Steve Harvey wearing a fedora? She's like, he's always wearing a fedora. I would say Steve Harvey is more like everyone talks about his lineup and how meticulously his hair is always like on point. But I can't think of a single time that Steve Harvey's been a fedora. So I'm just like, girl, what are you talking about?
But we do have to say that she did get Jane's right. I mean, they didn't end up beating it, but
right,
okay.
Because Jane's clue was is that what was
lotus? A lotus flower? Is that what they called
We
it?
forgot what the flower was called.
Tootsie's something in Nashville.
Orchid.
Orchid?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the orchid flower in her ear with a parrot on her shoulder and a blue collar around her neck. Blue collar 9 to 5, which is a great guess. I would have never jumped.
I know. Like,
But
that
she
was
got
a
it.
pretty big jump. But
And then the only other clue is I forgot this dude's name.
no, there's two others.
No.
Yes, the alien girl.
Oh, you're right. So we don't know alien girl and this other guy's
Okay,
name.
we need to clarify.
But we're recapping it anyway.
We need to clarify. No, we got.
Do you know their name?
Shoot, we need to look up their names.
That's good.
Next week we'll have to.
Yeah, cliffhanger for next week. We'll know their name next week. Okay, so we've got a girl. She's wearing, just looks to be stylish sunglasses with the medical cross floating next to her with alien ears or antlers. I don't know what that could be. Alien doctor. Oh, maybe famous alien doctor in a TV show like Star Trek or in a movie. I'm trying to think of who that could be. And then the other guy's got a chef's hat and a pacifier, which is baby chef. What
baby chef baby. I was thinking like Boss Baby, or like did somebody play a chef in a movie? Not necessarily a baby, but maybe it's like two different roles they play.
Right. Okay, and then finally, like you alluded to, Shane won the challenge as the team leader. She got to pull Carson's clue. And Carson's clue is a trophy, a pencil, minus the letter E, a person with a question mark, 2 records being played, the number 4, and a mug of beer. Because of this, I think it's Champion Racer. You see the racer minus the E. Champion Racer who, and then I don't know what the end is. That's as far as we've gotten with Carson. If I had to guess right now, it's Tony Stewart. It's her celebrity relative. Do you remember
Tony Stewart?
He's a champion racer in NASCAR.
Oh, NASCAR.
Number 4 car. Who drove? The number 4 mug. Number 4. Okay, I'm not going to turn this into just Jared guesses for 5 minutes on a podcast.
I know.
But we're going to dwell on it for the week and then we'll come back.
I'm not good at guessing these at all.
But Jane, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Jane. What?
Jane guessed wrong. She went home. Chris is safe. They don't know, like we discovered last episode, that he's an Osmond. Although once you realize he is, he looks exactly like every other Osmond that's been born. And I think the preview showed that Shane and Monet become the big targets because they believe everyone in the house thinks they manipulated Jane going home.
Yeah.
So
now,
go ahead.
Somebody is Nicolas Cage.
No. Well, yes. They looked at the wall and they think that Chris is related or somebody, or who do they think is related?
Well, it's not Chris.
We know it's not, but I'm saying they think.
But they think it is, or thought it could be.
Right. It's definitely not him, but the clues on the wall are definitely for Nicolas Cage. Now I can't remember what those clues were. Why can't we remember?
I don't know. Wasn't it like National Treasure stuff? Or no?
Yes,
he's not
National Treasure. There's another thing that made it really obvious was Nicolas Cage. We can't remember.
We can't. We'll have to make more notes on that.
Right. But that's the extent of it. It's a really great show, but that's basically all we got this week that I can remember. But we love the show. Hope this pace continues of the paranoia and people playing because it's fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Any other reality tidbits before we sign out?
I have some reality news.
News that no one's heard, or you just want to talk about?
Oh yeah, I got the first I got the first straight line to TMZ. They called me today. No, I just want to say we found out Katie Thurston is gonna be on F-Boy Island, which has now moved to the CW, which is a little odd, but that's okay.
We're used to watch it on.
Still gonna watch it.
HBO Max, but
HBO
now it's on
Max.
the CW.
Is it still on HBO Max?
No,
like the old seasons?
It's been removed.
Really?
And now they're on the CW.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so highly recommend the show. It's hilarious. So that'll be interesting. I mean, at this point, she's just a character. Like, isn't she have like her comedy show? And
I think
so,
she tried the stand up comedy, but I don't even remember wasting my time watching it.
yeah.
She could be great. It's just, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's basically it, huh?
I
We
think
got
so.
some
I
of
don't
our
think I have any
shows.
more reality
Big
news.
Brother's coming in August. I'm sure Netflix will have a reality show we'll be watching here soon. They've always got those seasons of the Circles drop like Beyonce dropped her surprise album. So again, thank you for listening. If you're one of the, if you've made it to this far in the episode, you're an exclusive club
You're
on Earth right now.
true OG.
You'll say, hey, we were there from the beginning.
From the beginning.
You'll be walking down the street.
We won't forget you when we get big.
I will, definitely. No, you'll walk down the street, see someone else listening to People's Roads. You can give them a sly smile, just like, hey, I'm one of them, So just feel like, let that be a warm embrace that you know something that other people have yet to find out. But we appreciate that you guys are listening. We're basically on every social media account. We like to live tweet, live thread, live Reddit during our favorite reality shows. So come join us in the discussion there. Continue to listen to the podcast. And thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.